Hello, today we are doing Chapter 7, Section 5, and we are going to be factoring x squared plus bx plus c into the product of two binomials. A lot of times I refer to these as the easy factors because there's no number in front of that x squared. I'm going to give you the core concept, and then I'm going to try and break it down for you. You look at this, and I read that, and I get a little bit confused. What that really means is I'm going to be looking for two numbers that multiply to c, and those two numbers have to add up to b. And if I have a plus sign right here, they're going to have the same signs. Okay? So here, I have a positive 5 and a positive 6. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 5, add to 6. That'd be positive 1, positive 5. On this example, two numbers that multiply to positive 5 add to negative 6. That's negative 1, negative 5. If I were to FOIL those out, I would end up with either x squared plus 6x plus 5, or in the bottom one, if I FOILed that out, x squared minus 6x plus 5. So what we're really doing is the opposite of FOILing. So let's go ahead and do our first example. I think one of the easier things to do is just start by drawing your two sets of parentheses. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 16, add to 10. And I'm not going to draw that out every single time. So go ahead and put an X down. And this is a plus sign right here, which means both signs are the same, which is, if you look at that middle term, it's a plus sign, so they're both going to be pluses. Two numbers that multiply to 16, add to 10. Well, to multiply to 16, I have 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4. Well, the one that adds to 10 is 2 and 8. So x plus 2, x plus 8. Let's go ahead and do another one. So it needs to multiply to 6, add to 7. So if you ever get stuck, make a little table. How can you multiply to 6? And then see what it adds up to be. So 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Well, that adds up to 7. That adds up to 5. I'm looking for 7. So my two numbers are 1 and 6. So x plus 1, x plus 6. On number 2, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to 8, add to 9. They are 1 and 8. All right, on this one, what I noticed right away is I have a minus sign and followed by a plus sign. I have a plus sign in front of my constant, so I know they're going to both be the same sign. Both positive and both negative, but since I have that negative there, they're both going to be negative. So it's going to be x minus, x minus. So two numbers that multiply to 12, and then they have to add to negative 8. Well, that could be negative 1, negative 12, but that would add to be negative 13. Negative 2, negative 6. Oh, you know what? I think that's going to be it, because that adds to be negative 8. Let's go ahead. Negative 3, negative 4. Now that would be negative 7, so that's not going to work. So that's one that looks like it works right there. Minus 2, minus 6. All right. Let's talk about sometimes when c is negative. You're still going to do it the same way. You're looking for two numbers that multiply to your constant and add to the number in front of the x. However, when that number in front of the constant is negative, you're going to have two different signs, one positive, one negative. You just have to be really careful with your signs. So let's take a look. We have a negative sign right there. So I know one's going to be positive. One is going to be negative. So it is going to be multiplied to negative 21. And it is going to add to be 4. So I'm just going to list all the ways that I can multiply to get negative 21. Negative 1 times 21. Negative 3 times 7. Negative 7 times 3. And negative 21 times 1. And if I add those, that's going to give me 20. That'll give me 4, negative 4, negative 20. And again, I'm looking for positive 4. Well, that's positive 4 right there. So it looks like my two numbers are negative 3 and positive 7. All right. Now comes the challenging part. There are 6 problems for you to try on your own. And again, you're looking for numbers that multiply to your constant and add to your middle term. Start by doing those 2 sets of parentheses. And if you need to make a list of everything that multiplies, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Go ahead, hit pause. When you're ready, hit it again and check your answers. Negative 1, negative 3 multiplies to 3, adds to negative 4. Negative 3, positive 5. Whoa, that's not right. That's horribly wrong. Let's cross that off. They made a mistake there. So I would have n and an n. I wonder if they have any more mistakes. So the way that I could multiply to 35 is 1 times 35. 5 times 7. And that's it. If I do that, it adds to 12. So I'm going to go with minus 5, minus 7. I am going to contact Big Ideas and tell them example number 4 has a mistake in it. Let's see if there's any more mistakes. Let's say multiple. Yes, there is. On that one, number 5 needs to multiply to 24, add to negative 14. The way I can multiply to 1 to 24, read the work up here because I'm multiply to 24 is 1 and 24, 2 and 12. That would give me 25. And that gives me 14. So I'm going to have, and they're both going to be minus, so it's going to be x minus 2, x minus 12. And if I look here, I'm going to guess that this answer was supposed to go up there, because you would have x minus 3, x plus 5. Two numbers that multiplied to negative 15, add to positive 2. On this one, with the y's, y plus 15 y minus 2. And our last one, v minus 7. And I'm sorry my v's are not good looking. It's not my favorite variable to use. And v plus 6. All right, sorry about those couple of mistakes there. All right, we're actually going to go ahead and stop right there. Hope you enjoyed.